I am talking about 7 things that nobody has ever told you before that can make your marriage last. The truth that is difficult to tell. I talk about it here on Relationship Talks with Mama J. These 7 things that nobody has ever told you. We did part 1 yesterday. Today is part 2. And if you stay with me to the 7th one, you will get the message. Number 2 is that choose impossibility. Choose compatibility, not just things that are simple. Even if it is impossible in the eyes of other people, you know yourself that this person is the person you love. Choose compatibility, not just chemistry. That's number 2. Chemistry is exciting, we all agree. Compatibility is sustaining, I know. There is difference, Chemistry says, I can't stop thinking about you. That's how you feel when you have that hot chemistry for the person. Can we actually build a life together? That's what compatibility is asking you. You don't have to listen to what chemistry is saying. You have to listen to what compatibility is telling you. Can we actually build this life together? You may have incredible chemistry with someone who has completely different values from yours. You may laugh together. You may have fantastic intimacy. You may even enjoy traveling together with the person. But what happens when you disagree about money? Think about it. What happens when children start arriving? When children arrive, what will happen? What happens when one person's career demands more time? What happens when your families interfere in the relationship? What happens when one person wants to live in Nigeria and the other wants to relocate permanently? What happens when your religious convictions differ? These are not small questions. So before you say I do, talk about the things that will affect your life after you say I do. Talk about money. Talk about children. Talk about parenting. Talk about family boundaries. It's not midnight, mother-in-law comes, father-in-law comes, brother comes, when you have nothing to eat. You want to please your family members, you carry everything and give to the family. You have to talk about your faith. Talk about sex and intimacy. Talk about career ambitions. Talk about where you will live. Talk about responsibilities. Talk about expectations. Because wedding preparations without marriage preparation is dangerous. I've said it before. People can spend millions planning one beautiful day and spend almost nothing preparing for the next 30 years. And I want you to think about that. Number 3, communication is not just talking. One of the biggest mistakes couples make is believing that communication means talking. No, 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 no. Communication means understanding and being understood. I talk, you listen, you understand me. You talk, I listen, I understand you. That's communication. Most people think that communicating is just talking to one another. And when they talk now, when they communicate now, you don't understand each other. Some people talk constantly but communicate terribly. This interrupts their relationship. You get? They interrupt, they insult each other, they shout at each other, they bring up 10 years arguments, They bring about argument, they threaten divorce every time there is a disagreement. They don't listen to each other at all. And that is not communication. That's not communication. They threaten divorce every time there is a disagreement. They use silence as punishment. They attack the person's character instead of addressing the problem. You see a man abusing his wife, a character. You see a woman abusing her husband, his character. Until their communication. Nah, that's not communication. They use silence as punishment. They attack the person's character instead of addressing the problem. That is not healthy communication. Healthy communication says, 1, I am hurt. I didn't understand what you meant. Can we talk about this later or together? I disagree with you, but I still respect you. I need some time to calm down, and then I want us to finish this conversation later. There is power in learning how to disagree without destroying each other, because you must listen carefully. This is an healthy conversation. You don't abuse each other in the name of your conversing or with the talk. Your spouse is not your enemy simply because they disagree with you. You are on the same team. The problem is the problem. Your husband is not the problem. Your wife is not the problem. The issue you are trying to solve is the problem both of you must come together and address. And if you remember that, you will fight differently. Number 4, respect must survive disagreements. This one is very important. Stay with me until we get to number 7. Share this video to your friends. Please subscribe and follow me for more of relationship advice, and we'll move on to the next level. You can be angry without being cruel to your partner. Yes, you're angry. Doesn't mean that you have to be cruel. A man was angry with his wife. He saw her medicated glasses on the floor. He did not pick it because he was angry with her. He would not give his wife money for feeding because he was angry with her. He will be maltreating her in the house. In fact, he will not, lot of things. Most men behave like that because they're angry with their wives. Or wives too, when she is angry with her husband too, she have her own of doing things. It is not how to communicate. It's wrong. You can be disappointed without humiliating one another. You can be disappointed without humiliating one another. You can say no without becoming disrespectful. You can say no without insulting the people's parents and your family members. And please hear me and hear me clearly. Never use someone's vulnerability as a weapon during an argument. If your husband once told you something painful about his childhood, don't throw it back at him because you are angry. If your wife trusted you with something deeply personal, don't use it to win an argument. Truth is fragile. A woman told her husband a lot of things about her family, and when they acquired, he was telling her everything. We know the one that told me that this and that. We know the one that told me about your brother. We know that told me about your sister. What? That is not how to communicate. Truth is fragile. The person will never trust you again. Never. Never. And once you teach your spouse that vulnerability is dangerous with you, they will stop opening their hearts to you. You may still live together. You may still eat together. You may even still live in the same house. But they will never trust you. They will never, ever, ever trust you. But emotional intimacy can disappear, and that is one of the saddest things that can happen inside the marriage. When emotionally you're no longer there, you have detached yourself. It's a worst thing. The number 5 truth about marriage that nobody will ever tell you is this: forgiveness is necessary, but so are boundaries. If you are still with me, I ask you to subscribe, follow me, please. Share it to your friends. It's important that you know relationship tips before you say I do. These are the qualities every marriage must have that can make your marriage juicy and last. Now, let us talk about forgiveness and boundaries. Now, let's talk about something that you know better than I do. Forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness is important. Some people will remind you that God said you forgive 70 times 7. They don't forget that one. Forgiveness is important, but people make mistakes in life. You know that. People hurt each other. People sometimes say things they regret. Sometimes spouses fail each other. But forgiveness does not mean pretending nothing happened. And forgiveness does not mean giving someone permission to continue hurting you. That's not forgiveness. That is not forgiveness. Let me make that very clear. Forgiveness and boundaries can't coexist together. They can exist together. Yeah. You can forgive someone and still say, this behavior cannot continue. You can love someone and still require accountability. You can pray for your marriage and still go for counseling. You're supposed to say they're praying, so they don't go for counseling, they don't seek counseling. That's wrong. You can believe in restoration and still protect yourself from abuse. A healthy marriage requires grace, but grace must not become an excuse for destructive behavior. If there is violence, coercion, serious abuse, or persistent destructive behavior, please don't hide it under the word submission. And my husband, Bible said that we should be submissive. You're dying. Your husband is dealing with you, be submissive. He's manipulating you. You're in a toxic relationship. You say Bible said we should submit. Seek appropriate professional help. Legal or pastoral or safety, spiritual help. Seek your, just meet your man of God. Anyhow, but seek help. Marriage should not require you to lose yourself in order to keep it. Number 6 reason why you must listen to me is this: never stop dating your spouse. Yes, because most people thought after marriage dating don't stop. No, never stop. Never stop dating your spouse. This sounds simple, but it is powerful. Many couples stop cutting each other once they get married. They stop that. Before marriage, have you eaten? How was your day? I miss you. I can't wait to see you. All this one stop after marriage. Why? You do pay the electricity bill. Now we dey hear now. Where are the children? Who is picking them up? Do you buy what I ask you to buy? And suddenly, marriage has become what? Management. Management meeting. That becomes something else. Please don't allow that to happen to your marriage. Your spouse is not just your business partner. You are your companion. They are your companion. Ask questions that have nothing to do with bills. How are you really doing today? What has been worrying you? Why are you frowning? Is everything okay? Where are you? Why are you looking like this? What can I do to make your life a little bit better? What can I do to help you? These are the questions you should be asking. Is there something you've been afraid to tell me? You laughed together before. Why are you not laughing again? Eat together. Take walks together. Pray together if you both of you have the same faith. Celebrate small victories. Compliment each other. Touch each other affectionately. Create memories, because intimacy is not built only in the bedroom. Intimacy is built in the little moments when people continue to do things together. Most people think that intimacy is a bedroom. Whenever you are in the bedroom, that means you are intimate. No, no, no. Intimacy is not only in the bedroom. Now, this is the last one, the seventh one. Number 7, thank you for staying with me to the last one. I appreciate you for being with me, and I know that you are going to subscribe and share the video to your friends. A lasting marriage requires two people who are willing to grow. This is number 7. This is perhaps my biggest lesson. People change. You will change. Your husband will change. Your wife will change. The person you married at 25 may be exactly the same person at 50. You think so? No. The person you marry at 25 may not be exactly the same person at 50. The person will definitely change. And that is not necessarily a bad thing. The question is, are you growing together or growing apart? As she's growing older, the man, are you growing older with her? Or you're growing apart? Both of you are growing older? Marriage requires adjustments. The young couple who had no children may become parents. The parents may eventually become empty nesters. Career change, bodies change, finances change, priorities change, and eventually you may find yourself looking at the person in a different way. We are not the same people we were 30 years ago. We have changed. A man keep on reminding his wife, you were not like this 30 years ago. You were not like this 20 years ago. When we met, you have changed. I have changed. You too change. I have grown apart. You to grow. I grow apart. The woman was telling her husband, I grew apart because we did not grow up together. As the body is changing, the man is changing, the woman is changing, their minds are changing, problem, children, finances, and they have things. In order to grow together, they grew apart. That's what happened. We are not the same people we were some years ago. Of course, you are not. You have lived 30, 40, 20 years apart. The goal isn't to remain exactly who you are. The goal is to keep discovering each other, keep talking, keep learning, keep forgiving, keep improving, and keep choosing each other always. And let me add one more thing before we go. Because I cannot talk about marriage without talking about friendship. Before your spouse was your husband or wife, they were a person, a human being, someone with dreams, fears, insecurities, and ambitions. And sometimes we become so focused on the role of husband or wife that we forget the person underneath. Don't just ask, are you doing your duty as a husband? Or are you doing your duty as a human being? Or are you doing your duty as a wife? You don't know how to cook my kind of soup, my favorite soup. Are you taking care of the house? Are you happy? Make the person your friend. If you want to ask the person, are you happy? Ask kindly, not shouting. And friendship becomes stronger. Difficult conversations become what? Easier. Faith and marriage goes together as well. For those of us whose marriage are built around faith, there is another dimension. I'm talking to those who believe in Christianity, those who believe in faith. I'm a Christian. Marriage is not only about what your spouse can give you. It's also about what you are becoming. Prayer can strengthen a marriage. Faith can give couples hope during difficult seasons. But let me challenge somebody. Let me challenge something. Don't use prayer as a substitute for responsibility. You're not doing your responsibility. You'll not be telling them, let us go and pray. Pray about what? What are we praying about? You're not doing your duty as a wife. You're not doing your duty as a man, as a husband. You want to say, let us pray. What are we praying about? Don't use prayer as a substitute, though, please. You cannot continually hurt your spouse and simply say, we are praying about it. Pray and change. Pray and communicate. Pray and seek counseling. Pray and take responsibility. Pray and learn. Faith should not make us avoid difficult conversations. That's my point. As you're praying, please seek help. It should give us the courage to have them. Mama Jess and I would. If you're still with me to this extent, I bless you. I think you have subscribed and you have shown it to your friends. If you are married, I want you to ask yourself 5 questions tonight. Number 1, am I still emotionally present in this marriage? Number 2, does my spouse feel respected by me? Number 3, can my spouse safely tell me the truth? Number 4, when we have conflict, do I try to solve the problem or do I try to win? And finally, number 5, if I met my spouse today, would I still choose the person they have become? Don't be frightened by that last question. Let it challenge you. Because marriage is not sustained by wedding photographs. It is sustained by daily choices. Every morning you choose kindness. Every day you choose honesty. Every disagreement, you choose something. And I want you to know one thing very clearly. Please, don't pretend. No necessary drama. Just real conversation about love, marriage, family, and life. Until next time, remember, love is beautiful but healthy. Love must be built intentionally. God bless you. And I will see you in our next conversation. I am Mama J. Remain blessed. Bye.